Hey guys, and welcome to an advanced Trove tutorial. This one we're going to cover forging. Now I know we went over it a little bit in the basics tutorial, but we're going to do a quicker one here, or a somewhat quick video, showing you basically how to forge, why to forge, etc. Alright, so you get a piece of gear, it drops. Now I can't move the mouse around right now, but if you look at the top right, or the top corner right there, you'll see the little stars. Those stars is the power level. They represent the power level of the weapon. Every time that I increase that power level, the stats on the weapon, the physical damage, maximum health, and knockback, all increase in numbers. Alright, so how do you increase that? Well, first off, when items drop, as you can see, all of these are random drops. That one started at 4-star. That one started at 5 because it's a ring. Rings always start at 5. That one started at 1, and that one started at 2. So it's a random thing, what they start at. It just depends on your luck. Alright, first thing you want to do is come to a forge. And then from a forge, you will take and you just find the item that you want to forge, and then you right click it and it goes into a forge. Now, as you can see up here, you've got 4 stars already. It tells you the required items. You need 50 flux, and it also shows you in green down here the stats that you're going to increase on this weapon when you upgrade it. Now, as a demonstration, we're going to upgrade this one time, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, all those stats increased. Now, this weapon has hit 5 stars. Well, when you hit 5 stars with an item, you get the opportunity to increase the rarity level of the item. Meaning that I will take this resplendent weapon up to the next tier. It will become a shadow weapon if I use this. I'm not going to because it's 500 flux. Now, it's a crappy weapon, or a crappy item. But if I was to hit upgrade again, it requires 5 eyes and 500 flux to go just to shadow 1. Now, there's different requirements as you go, and we'll go along that as we play. But that's how you upgrade weapons, either stat-wise or rarity-wise. Stat-wise, you just use the flux. Rarity-wise, you need other special bonus items, and you need a larger amount of flux, and you also have to make sure that the item hits 5 stars. Alright, that is what the forge does. That's how to use the forge. Now, this is the enchanted forge. Now, what the enchanted forge does is it allows you to add a new stat or a bonus stat, like you've seen this item. This item has 3 stats on it, and it shows you right here: maximum health, health regen, and physical damage. Well, with this, if I can get a Pearl of Wisdom, which you can buy from the boat trader, you can get them from shadow caches, you can get them from people, you can buy them in trade chat, whatnot. If I can get these, which I've got 2, you can add a new stat or a bonus stat to the weapon, basically. You'll add a 4th stat to whatever, to the weapon, to the hat, to the whatever. You can do it to everything except for rings. You cannot forge rings right now, yet. I don't know if they're going to let us, but you can't yet. Alright, so if I was to hit upgrade, it would add a 4th stat. Now I can go over to this, and not based off this weapon, but I could reduce the required level if I had a twinkling tome. Now, what that's good for, some people use that to be able to use weapons earlier. But seeing as how you can use everything at level 10, it doesn't really matter. This is pretty much a worthless forge, is what I'm saying. Randomizing the radiant aura. This only affects radiant weapons. In order to get a radiant weapon, you have to get a shadow 5 weapon all the way up, or get a weapon all the way up to shadow 5, or get a shadow 5 weapon. And then you can upgrade it with some dragon souls and other things to a radiant weapon, which is the best weapons in the game. You can do that to your weapon, your hat, and your face, and make them the best of the best or not the best, but the highest rarity, the highest grade of weapon in the game. And that's what this does. Each of the weapons, your radiant weapons. And they're going to add face and hat auras later. They haven't yet. But your weapon has an aura, and it has like this sparkly stuff on it, and you can change it. It's really cheap. It's only 75 glim to cycle through them randomly. And there's like 5. You can get one that's like smoky, icy, or whatever. You can get a fire one. You can get an electric one. You can get one that does this little black magic type thing, etc. That's the enchanted forge. The third and final forging station is the Chaos Forge. Now, what the Chaos Forge does is this one randomizes that 3rd and 4th stat. Now, where the Enchanted Forge added with a Pearl of Wisdom added a 3rd, or added a 4th stat, what this one does is allows you to randomize your third and your fourth stat in case you get a weapon like this. This one's got physical damage as a third stat. Well, what if on this hat I wanted, or this item, I think it's a hat. No, it's a face. What if on this face I wanted magical damage instead? Well, as you can see over here in this chart, there are many, many different things that you can re-roll into for each of these different items, for the weapon, for the hat, for the face, etc. And this chart shows you what you can get. And you use that. So you come in and you look at the chart and you say, all right, I want maximum health. Well, it's always got maximum health. But you want maximum health, and then I want physical or magic damage. I want this and this. I want this and this. You can come in here, and basically what your goal is to find a first weapon or first hat or first face that has the first two stats that you want, because you cannot re-roll the first two stats. You can only re-roll the third and fourth stat. So you find one that's got the first two stats that you really want on it, and then the third and fourth stat isn't going to matter, because when let me take and do this. I'll go into here. Let me change to somebody that's got one that's got 4 stats on it. So let's go to this guy. This is my Tomb Raiser. It's my main character. And if I look in here, this has got 4 stats on it. So now if I take this and put this in there, you'll see that I've got magic damage, energy regen, jump, and maximum health on this item. Now, if I was to hit randomize right now, it would cost me 1 tentacle of Cthulhu. The tentacles in the eyes, you get them out dungeoning, and you get them from chests, and you get them from deconstructing shadow or resplendent and above items. The tentacles you get as drops. The eyes you get from chests and from deconstructing. Tentacles, you can get them from random, really, really random drops. I'll get one every once in a while from killing a boss or something like that. And you can also get them in the chaos chest. But I hit the randomize button, and it's going to just basically change these 2 stats. Usually it'll change one of the 2, or it can change both of the 2. It's just a random thing. So you just have to sit here and keep playing with it until you get the last 2 stats to be exactly what you want. You can get lucky and get it on the first go, or it can take you forever. Now, that's pretty much all that there is in the game as far as forging. You will also use the forge to upgrade when you get the stuff, to upgrade to all the way from whatever to all the way to the final radiant, from the very first, the regular standard weapons all the way up to radiant. Now it's not, you shouldn't be doing that. If you get a nice legendary weapon, just keep playing the game, and you'll get You'll get better than that. You'll get the relics, and then you'll get the resplendents, and you'll eventually get shadow drops. I wouldn't advise upgrading anything beyond until you get to at least shadow, or unless you get a really good resplendent weapon that just happens to have all the stats you want on it, and you add the bonus stat to it, and with a pearl, and it just happens to work out perfectly. Then upgrade that, because upgrading gets very, very, very expensive. All right, as you can see here on this list. So in this row right here that's in red, this is what's required, the specials that are required to upgrade as you progress along from Shadow 1 to Shadow 2 to Shadow 3 to Shadow 4 to Shadow 5 and then into Radiant. Alright, so in order to go from a Shadow 1 weapon into a Shadow 2 weapon, all you need is the eyes and the flux, 500 flux and 50 eyes. But once you've got a Shadow 2 weapon, in order to convert that Shadow 2 weapon into a Shadow 3 weapon by using the Forge, you need 2 twice forged souls. Now the only way to get twice forged souls is by deconstructing, or you get lucky and get them out of chests, very rarely, very, very rarely. Or you can deconstruct 2 Shadow 4 or Shadow 2 weapons, meaning that you have to upgrade 2 weapons to Shadow 2, and then you deconstruct them, and each one you deconstruct, you'll get a twice forged soul. You then take those 2 twice forged souls and you apply that to a Shadow 2 weapon, and it will then give you a Shadow 3 weapon. Alright, and to continue this on, now to upgrade a Shadow 3, you have to do everything that we've done prior to create 2 Shadow 3 weapons, or get them as drops. They do drop. Shadow 2, Shadow 3, Shadow 4, Shadow 5, and Radiant. If your magic finds high enough, and you're doing the high enough uber level things, you can get them very, very, very rarely as drops. They'll drop. But we're talking about forging. So for crafting, to get a Shadow 3 to upgrade to a Shadow 4, you have to do everything that we've done prior twice to get 2 Shadow 3 weapons to deconstruct. Then you'll get a thrice forged soul from each Shadow 3 weapon that you deconstruct. So you need 2 of those, and then you have to have a Shadow 3 weapon built up. Then you'll use those 2 thrice forged souls with that Shadow 3 weapon, and you'll upgrade it to 4. Then you do the same entire process from Shadow 1 to Shadow 2, Shadow 2 to Shadow 3, twice more, plus 1 more time for your weapon that you're going to keep. And then you have to apply those 2 quad forged souls that you'll get from deconstructing Shadow 4 weapons to your Shadow 4 weapon to get a Shadow 5, so on and so on. From here, once you get to a Shadow 5, you need 3 Pentaforged souls, which is you get from a Shadow 5 weapon when you deconstruct it, plus 3 Purifying Dragon Flames. And as you can see in this list, the crafting cost is just ridiculous. I mean, it's way up there. It's so many pieces and items that it's really better to wait until you get the actual item, you find the actual items that you need to deconstruct them, hang on to it, or buy in trade chat, buy your quad forged, thrice forged, twice forged, or pentaforged souls in trade, or whatnot. But if you happen to be running a couple Shadow Arenas and you get like 2 Shadow 4 weapons, or you get a Shadow 4, a couple Shadow 3, or whatever else, then you can deconstruct them, hang on to the materials, and slowly build your weapon up. It's not something you're going to do in one day. But that's everything you need to know about forging. That's everything available in the game right now about forging. And I hope this tutorial was informative and helpful, and that you got something out of it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know. And have a great day.